All right.
All right, I think we are live. We have voices. Hello, welcome, viewers. This is a trial of a new format called Review. I quite optimistically put 001 in the title. We'll see how far up that number goes. I'm Mike, of course. I got Eriror with me. Hello, Eriror.
Hello. How's it going?
It's great. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna investigate Dr. Eriror's AD Keysanity here. So, in this format, the thinking is we're gonna talk to experienced people and analyze other experienced people's runs and see what can we learn from them together. Talk big routing, decision making. How do you go from A to B the fastest? Not so much execution, but random specifics, and we'll see how we go. Basically, we're gonna pause sometimes, but not try and keep it to a minimum. And chat is welcome to pitch in.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be a collaborative effort in that sense, right?
Exactly. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kick this VOD off. We'll keep the audio to random and chill. It's actually lo-fi study beats, but similar.
Studying files, so seems great to me.
And this is actually, now when I look at it, it's standard boots. So how do you route standard boots, Eriror?
Well, you go to Spank as fast as possible. So I guess we just, I was already wrote down a couple of options for opening routes, but I think that kind of goes out of the window.
Yeah, okay, hold on. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, we can put this on 2x speed, and we can start talking about what do you do after escape.
I think the clear option would just to be to do Bonkrok's Lost Woods. I think the interesting decision is whether or not you go for Lumberjack or not. In AD Keys, I think the value of Lumberjack is a lot lower because the CT smalls are such a pain anyway, and I think it's pretty easy to actually just go to Lumberjack if you do beat Castle Tower early.
I think the upshot with going to Lumberjack is you get tree pulls and crab checks, and in AD Keys you're basically not going to get any early resources because it's all keys and maps.
Yeah, it does kind of matter what you get in Escape, because the nice part about casual boots and standard escapes is that you get quite some resources from the chest from the enemies on the way. So usually the benefit that you get from the Lumberjack check with the whole tree pulls and bush crabs is a bit lower than it would otherwise be.
That's true. We're gonna get stuff here, and we already got a bow and hammer. So we can do stuff. We even have bombs at our disposal here. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I think you're fair that if your escape is completely dry and you don't have any money, you don't have any resources, then it's pretty fair to just check Lumberjack because of the added benefit of the bush crabs and tree pulls. But in Lost Woods, you already get one free tree pull anyway. And yeah, usually you just leave with 50 rupees or a bunch of bombs, and then doing Kakriko straight out of Lost Woods is usually very doable.
Yeah, it's gonna be doable in this seed for sure. How much time do you say on not shaking Lumberjack? Is it 20 seconds?
I must say I haven't timed it. That's something that's probably very worth timing.
Yeah, I think it's substantial at least.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, it's just a quick scout. You might go there anyway, and so on. But no, it's 20 seconds. Is that can be a win in some seeds.
Yeah, and especially in AD Keys because the margins are so much smaller. And I think we've also seen that in the main tournament a couple of times that people who like take an early boss death, for example, they have such a hard time catching up, even in fat keys, just because there is very, very little time to save. I think we can start going back to 1x speed.
Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Remembering to check bonk rocks is good.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge plus. But yeah, the 80 keys with like standard starts is a bit less interesting in that sense, because you don't have the whole decision to make of, okay, do we do Uncle Starts? Do we just do Lost Woods into Save and Quit and then go to CAC from the south, etc., etc.? Because now it's kind of clear what you do. Like
Yeah.
most of the time, you will just go to Lost Woods and go to CAC anyway. So yeah, the big decision points will probably be after CAC, whether we do like Mini Molder K, like South Shore, or go to like Saha.
Yeah. So we still at early. You just get the things you can get.
Yeah.
Maybe would have been good to pick up those 5 rupees. Actually. To guarantee 100 rupees.
You're already guaranteed 100, right? Because you get 30 in blind spot and 20 in the wall.
Oh, you're right, actually. You get 50 in together, right?
Yeah. I think checking for the triple here would have maybe been okay. Just to get an extra tier 1 in there. See what that is. But tier 1s don't usually come up that often.
So we already have a bow, hammer, and a pod small. That's something we think about.
I don't really think about pod until I have like, okay, well that's second. It's usually like 4 smalls or 3 plus big. That's when I'm like starting to get excited. But yeah, this is definitely like small signs already.
Yeah, but you don't immediately rush over to pod as soon as you can, even if you feel like, oh, it's the place to be.
No, because there's such a big chance that you isolate either Vanilla Vicky Chest or Harmless Hallway, and incentivizing yourself to like come back is pretty important. In a sense, it might be better to just come in there early with like 2 smalls and then come back later once you have like 4 plus the big key, or like 5 plus the big key. Just make sure that you can actually full clear by the time you come back. You probably don't want to like assume that you can single dip it, but yeah.
But the feeling when you can, oh, it's good.
Well, we get a pretty good sign here.
Alright, so Eastern big. Well, makes the decision whether or not you should go check Saha early quite easy.
Yeah.
So decision is, do you just go there before South Shore?
Probably. I don't think there's a huge benefit to waiting until you can potentially combo it with pod, because
no. Or like the question would be, how comfortable would you be with dark rooms? But we have every fire source, so it's not really an issue either. That's the only reason I would delay clearable Eastern is if I'm at 3 hearts with fire rod or no fire source.
Yeah, no fire source, no sword. Then it definitely becomes a lot riskier. And I think doing South Shore first then is very defensible.
Right. Do you just check race game?
I would do it blind.
You do it blind?
I think it is like also resource wise, we would pick up any 100 rupees plus. We would pick up any like 3 or 10 bomb pack. I think it's very reasonable to just want to pick up like 60-70% of the items you get here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, 20 rupees aren't exciting, but you're also not going to skip it because it might just be like an extra like 10 bombs you can buy. Or...
Oh, we gotta get that pod money.
Yeah.
So, will Doctor go to Eastern? Yes. So, oh well, we don't even have a glove. If you had a glove here, would you... Like, I would probably just go clear Eastern before Saha, because it's more efficient.
Probably. Also in the off chance that you do get, like, the beat pennant from Eastern.
Yeah. Like, I would... 9 times out of 10, I would just clear Eastern first, if in this type of situation.
Oh, lovely. Beat pennant, Turtle Rock. Okay. Like, do you get worried when you see that? Do you think, like, okay, well, there's going to be something in GT now? Aside from the mandatory CT small.
No, I haven't played AD Keys enough to worry about that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do have a cape though, and a castle tower small.
Yeah, that's the other awkward part with standard start, isn't it? Like, when do you actually go to the castle tower? Like, one point would be to like combine it with pyramid and hope you just find the bow.
Now we have two very awkward checks
The
instead.
mirror. I mean, yeah.
Maybe it's just easy and Moon Pearl is there and you're forced into it.
Yeah. That would be the hope.
The answer for Doctor is never.
Okay, that's certainly an option.
The answer for what, by the way? You agree with Eri? In what way? What question are we talking about?
When you would check CT.
Right,
this, like...
right.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like a bad Meyer, maybe. Except that Meyer now actually has 8 checks. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Well, that's the third pod small. So now, maybe now it's starting to tingle a little bit. Like, we don't really have any, like, hard other, like, full clearable things to do. Like, Skullwoods definitely isn't very exciting, even if we do find a sword.
Yeah. This could just be an agate seed soon, which is rarer in AD keys.
Oh, true, yeah. Okay, that's nice money. That kind of makes, like, South Shore. Now you're kind of in that awkward money situation. But... I don't know when it's faster to check the big chest. I don't think it really matters.
When they have the boots. So I'm just trying to think of what progression can we find. Moonpearl doesn't do anything for us. Like, we basically looking for 2 items, whatever the next thing is.
Yeah. Well, that is nice, but it doesn't do anything.
Get a mirror. Now you can go to Aga when you have Dracula access.
Yeah, okay. I mean, makes that a lot easier, for sure.
So I'm starting to think mountain here. I don't want to go to the mountain, but I'm thinking it.
Yeah.
Because you can do... you can go all the way to Paradox Cave. But would you rush the mountain or would you do South Shore first? I think I would do South Shore first.
If you find like Flute or Glove, I would probably still do South Shore first. Just because getting a little bit more, like a bigger chance of like doing more on the mountain. Like, you kind of want to hit that sweet spot where you can do enough of the mountain to like not triple dip it, but also not enough that like only Turtle Rock is isolated later on. Because that's what I found a couple of times, is that sometimes I delay Death Mountain enough that you have like mids hook shots, and you can full clear Hera, and then you only have Turtle Rock left, and then you end up on like Turtle Rock Big Key to Turtle Rock Smalls, and no Ice Rod. It's like, okay, when do you actually go in there?
Yeah,
okay. You never do.
Do you say it's better to go there early and orphan a lot instead of go there late and orphan a little bit?
Yeah, because it's not that you orphan a lot, and it's that if you go early without the mids, and then later on you have like mids hookshot, but also Kane, and you can actually enter Turtle Rock, then I don't feel bad also going into Turtle Rock with like 2 small keys and a big key.
No, not in this mode, no. I'm starting to learn that it's fine.
Yeah.
We did get a sword on Armus, that's not in logic.
Is it not in logic?
We don't have map or compass.
Oh, right.
We might have compass, but we definitely do not have map.
Fair enough, fair enough. That's a nice small key to get early on.
No, the Eriror, the item and the crystal isn't in logic. Both of them require the map and compass. Yes. But map or compass can be on Armus, yes. But you still need map or compass for the item.
I think I like checking Agina here. Because we have so little left that we might as well just be like hyper efficient.
What about scouting Desert Ledge?
I usually don't, but I also get punished a couple of times for it, so I don't really mind to check when I see other people do it.
With boots, it's pretty free, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never do it without boots. So pretty awkward spot to be in with rupees, but
yeah,
probably like given that we don't even have a glove yet, I wouldn't be too worried about orphaning or not doing Sora here, because even if I find a glove, I'm just going to the Dark World, right?
Yeah. I think in this situation, I would be fine just doing Waterfall Fairy and then running out and doing Hobo.
That's also pretty sweet.
And then leaving Zora Legend Zora for when I do Catfish.
Don't even scout Zora Ledge. Or no. Well, okay, wait.
Well, okay. Well, this changes things a little bit. I'm not sure if this makes me excited or not. Probably not. Because now I kind of feel forced to have enough rupees for Zora.
Same. So we also got a bottle at some point. I never worry about the bottle, really.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's annoying for sure, but there's also not a lot you can do about it.
And like I'm personally torn between farming the 20 rupee cave here and just praying that Sora.
That's the problem.
Oh yeah, you can't.
For it.
I'm silly. Right.
But I also don't. I think going in and out there like 5 times is worse than just isolating it and going back later.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you farm 100 rupees there, that's also a risky thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this case, doing Hobo first and then doing Waterfall. Oh, okay.
Okay. It's a glove and island. Alright, alright.
Yeah, is it like Aga intensifies now, or... I don't know what I would be thinking in this situation.
Can't believe Doctor gave us an Aga seed.
Yeah, I think so far, like, decisions have been pretty straightforward, but I've liked everything that the doc has done.
What's the only thing is we also have swamp access once we have darkwood access without the hook shot.
Yeah.
Man, where do you farm money if you need it?
It's just... you would just have to go into Blindside, I think.
Mm.
So, assuming that there's going to be... Okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes the decision a lot easier.
Dog is praying for one of these to drop 100 rupees. At this point, you just go full Aga.
Yeah.
Alright.
At least the equipment's pretty good too, so I don't think it's like a bad feeling to do Aga now.
The funny thing is, like, the sword is in the logic, right? So either map and compass is used on Sora and in Aga Tower, or there's going to be another sword in Aga Tower.
Oh, that's reasonable. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm actually... My brain doesn't like automatically think of like map compass logic in Keysanity modes.
It's never relevant.
But you love it anyway.
Except maybe now, when I can maybe predict another sword in Aga Tower. But probably not. As soon as we get the items here, we'll just fast forward to post Aga, I think.
Yeah, that seems good. What do you do after post Aga then? Like, I think it's not unreasonable to go straight to pod.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah.
But I can also just see grabbing the glove.
Oh, we have a glove. Yeah, that's actually an interesting topic.
Oh.
Okay, wait.
Well, that's a big joke, isn't it?
So... Well, it's pretty easy to drag anyway, since it's logically required.
Yeah, there's no chance you don't finish it now.
Yeah. Alright, so... We can do desert. We can go to pod, or we can go South Darkworld. We can even dip swamp.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of just going into pod here. We got 3 keys, bow and hammer. Like I am not interested in trying to single dip pod in AD keys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just too naive, but
yeah. The question is, what can we find in pod that makes getting the glove better? Because like what Tyler is saying in chat makes a lot of sense too. You do hype cave, you grab the glove, then you go to pod, and then like after that you can.
True. Because if you do hype cave, you could end up with another small key to pod or something.
Yeah.
I was just mainly thinking that the glove doesn't change anything in pod, but yeah, doing hype cave first could give you another key. Yeah. I do like that idea. I don't like going all the way to Dig Game and Stumpy, but we do have the mirror, so that's also a nice option. Because you can check K45 and then maybe even Sickid. But it doesn't feel good, because you double dip that area, sort of.
Yeah, I think the main problem is that there's no easy way back up to like South Darkworld once you get the glove, unless you go back through the portal. So that's the awkward bit, and it just feels really slow to do that. But you also don't want to go all the way to Digging Game without getting the glove, obviously.
The other idea is if you do pod first here, you can gather enough money to do Sora. And then you can do Hype Cave, pick up the glove, and go do Catfish and Mirror and do Sora.
Okay, yeah. I don't hate that. It does feel a little bit slow to do things like that once you have like
It's not something.
Dark World access.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that in a race probably because I wouldn't think of it in time. Okay,
I
so
feel pretty good picking this up. Because once you get the glove, like Skullwoods is doable. Which is probably like the thing you're most likely to do after like the preliminary like Dark World section here.
there's so many. Yeah, Hive Cave into Glove is pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna commit to like Hookless Swamp here.
And once you pick up this glove, where do you go?
I think. Okay, well, yeah, and now Pod is tingling a little bit too much.
4 keys, okay. Well, now you can do everything in there except Big Chest and Boss.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet.
Oh, do you really? Oh, where are we going?
This is what everyone would do if Glove wasn't on the island, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
The signs of having too many options here, I think. I think maybe the book broke Doctor. Like thinking about too many different routes here.
Yeah, possibly.
I do think it's interesting with the book because we technically don't have a sword in logic.
Sure.
But map and compass is probably in desert, so whatever.
Yeah, or a sword.
Exactly.
No, I definitely would not have been considering sword logic either. So I would just be thinking, okay, this is what we're required to do, and the book is just going to be like, haha. Well, we'll leave that for later.
Yeah.
I think I would have been more likely to check Bombo's tablet and then run back for the glove than to do this.
Bombo's tablet with no Master Sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just having the information is good enough.
I don't think I would have done that. I think that's one of those differences in opinion.
Yeah.
Here we go for the glove though.
Yeah. I'm not even sure how much slower this is if you're going to do like the 3 other self-Dark World checks anyway.
Maybe this is a good time to pause and look at like what we can do.
Yeah.
So I actually got a tool here. You can draw on the map.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you get 12 checks in Pod.
You can start in Lost Woods, Skullwoods, and go do all of that into Village of Outcasts.
Yeah.
And then,
so how long do you think Pod would take? Like time investment wise, is it like 5 minutes?
I think I timed that a long time ago. It's like 4 minutes without the boss. But then, then we travel to Pod as well. So yeah, 5 sounds good.
Okay.
And like we got the clear signs that we have to go to Pod, right? So that seems like a good place.
Yeah, and it's probably like kind of nice to do it without the big key because it guarantees that you have to come back. So like isolating something is less risky than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only risk is you probably need a 5th key if you want to do Furnace Hellway and Vanilla Big Key Chest. Because every extra right side is like 20 seconds, I believe.
But surely if you go to pod now and you don't find the big key, do you use up all your 4 keys?
That's the question, right? Because otherwise you leave either Penelope Key or Harmless Hallway.
Yeah, because I would definitely just check it in AD keys. Like, you're gonna full clear the game.
Okay.
I know it like in cross keys I wouldn't do it because it's a very different mode, but here
Yeah.
I haven't been burned by it so far, so I'm pretty fresh.
Yeah. No, that's I think that's fair. I think that's good. That's good reasoning, yeah. Okay. So it's like 12 checks for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other option is to go Skullwoods for 7 checks, which is like a medium risk, but we have a blue goo and we have hammer.
The awkward part with
cards?
Skull is we have 0 small keys, and then we have to, if we want to check the front, we get soft locked.
Oh, that's fair.
Which is super awkward. So if I did that route, I would start in Village of Outcasts and then go south or north afterwards.
I don't think that's bad. The only problem is that you then isolate like North Dark World with Umbra Ledge, Great Red Ledge, Kingstone. The question is whether that's bad or not.
Yeah.
Like, but those aren't ever really going to be faster either, right?
The North Dark World?
Yeah. Like, unless you get mids, but yeah, and I think the third option that's reasonable is to just go up to Death Mountain already. But it's like Death Mountain for me would be like the intermediate option. Like I can see doing like pod into Death Mountain, into Fu and Skullwoods, or Skullwoods into Death Mountain into pod.
Yeah, because the mountains currently is 13 checks.
Yeah. But of course, like, the balancing will probably change after one of the 3 options anyway. Like, there's a good chance that we find, like, Hookshot somewhere and then Swamp suddenly becomes a good option.
Yeah. Currently Swamp is, how many items? 4? No.
6, right?
6.
It's 5. 5 because we don't have a big chest. Yeah. But it's also a very slow option. Because you have to drop down left side twice and all that, and that's really painful. Like, it's definitely the high risk option.
Yeah. So looking at it like this, let's see what Tyler says. Kept out of South Darkwood checks, and then be able to do Lightwood Portal, Skullwoods, Thieves Town, South Darkworld. But like the problem with that is that we don't have keys for Skull, so you get soft locked in Skull if you do the front.
Yeah.
If you had one small key for Skull, this would be a lot more attractive immediately. So I think from this analysis, pod is this play here that has the least
risk involved.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I think we just move on from there.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Swamp and Desert are in consideration just yet, even with the logic concerns or like considerations.
Yeah, it's not even a concern from my side. It's just, aha. I wonder if that will matter at all. Probably not. You know?
Yeah.
And if you had somehow farmed money for Sora in this early game, you would have had no money for pod, and you would have been forced into one of the other plays.
Yeah.
So that's a risk with Sora early in this situation. You lock yourself out of pod.
Yeah, and I think my for me would be like pod choice number 1, then Fu area number 2, then Death Mountain number 3. but there are pretty small margins. Like, I think there's solid pros and cons to all of them. Like, you're not that far away from just being able to full clear pod in one try, but I also think that double dipping pod is not nearly as bad as people at least used to think it was.
Yeah, I feel nothing when I double dip pod. I am dead inside.
I mean, it's like double dipping mire. I also like double dipping mire.
Yeah, that's another one that's just fine.
Yeah.
We could just list dungeons that is bad to double dip, and it's like 2. No.
It's like ice and swamp.
Ice and swamp.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Turtle Rock, depending on how late. So it looks like Doc here is not gonna go for the vanilla big key chest. Maybe like waiting. Like if you do find the big key, then I think the decision becomes a bit trickier.
Like in this situation, I probably would have just gone straight to the back and said, "No way, the big key is in the front." LOL. Just to push that decision until I've done the back.
Yeah.
Got the flute though.
Got the flute, got the money.
Could have just hammered the pegs there to go to the back, but that's fine.
I think that's a very minor time difference though.
Yeah.
I think it's like maybe 4 or 5 seconds. And you need to be like really comfortable, like with the, not that the stair, like the stair clip is that bad.
Oh yeah, like, you have some money. We can do the cool strat, but
yeah.
I understand it. Flute doesn't do anything for us right now.
Well, it makes the mountain like faster.
Oh yeah.
So that's good.
Then you can feel good that you didn't rush the mountain off the club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, money's not a concern anymore either, so that's cool. Yeah, I think you always check Harm's Hallway here at least. Then again, like I think if you don't have the big key yet, I think it's better to check vanilla big key chest and like leave Harmless Hallway. If you only check one of them, because then at least you combine Harmless Hallway with the big chest.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it might just be like a mental like way to connect the two instead of having like 2 very separate checks in different parts of the dungeon. Not sure that it actually matters.
Alright, so with a flute at hand and glove, I guess we just go and activate flute and then
go do Vu.
Do you do Vu or do you use flute to the mountain?
Oh, I kind of like this. I think safe scumming this is not that bad. I didn't consider that.
Hey, that's pretty nice. Yeah, don't put yourself in pod small go mode. Yeah, I don't think that's a risk at all in AD keys, but yeah, in cross keys it's certainly a risk.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't confirm.
But yeah,
are we going to see the stupid stair thing here? No, okay. Okay, well, yeah.
Alright, see a bottle.
Be sure to mark the bottle off. You're on 2 now, but you're only on 1.
Oh no. That was a very long start screen, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a little weird.
Huh.
I think I do think you just said quit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about like checking catfish and Zora here.
No. No, Doc. So why do you not like it? Let's go into detail.
Because the density is just too low. I think that in normal AD keys, there are situations in which you can avoid a couple of singular checks. And I think getting a better idea of what you want to skip and when is worth it to delay this.
I guess Doc's thinking here is there's never a faster time than now. And he wants to say quit to the light world anyway. But
that's fair.
But yeah, I would probably have not checked these right now. I would have said, let's activate Flute and go to the Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, would you do Death Mountain over Fu in this situation? I think I would still like.
And I didn't mean Dark Death Mountain. I meant the Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's the sword we needed for logic.
Wonderful. It wasn't desert. I mean, it's a good sword to have.
Yeah. All right, so that's a nice little perk. Now we can do a tablet on the mountain. Now, yeah. You still would have done Vu and Skull here?
I think I would have, yeah.
There's not enough stuff on the mountain for you?
No, it is enough, but I think I would hope for maybe something for Hera. Or mids.
Yeah.
Oh, it is awkward though. Like, we don't have anything for Turtle Rock yet, so maybe you don't want to find mids.
So the mountain is 15 checks now, with Spike Cave as well.
Yeah.
But doing Vu first, you can do that north route as well. I understand it. I think that's like they're pretty equal, isn't there? You can even do a book check on on pet.
That's.
Would you check pet?
No. I think with Pendant Turtle Rock, where we're missing all the keys and Ice Rod, it's awkward. Like, if I had any information about like what Meyer was, like if Meyer is a pendant, then definitely no. Because then like your only possible thing is like the only things that we like need item wise. I guess there's so many keys out there though, so maybe. Yeah, actually. It's so weird because if you have access to all 3 pendants before GT anyway, then I'm more likely to just go there and pull it without reading it beforehand. And it just depends on what the odds are that the time I spend reading PED is like saved on average by doing fewer checks, by knowing I'm in go mode already. Does that make sense?
No, I'm with you. I'm a avid not ped checker.
Like if it means that I can just like go mode a pendant dungeon because I know my go mode big key is on there, sure. But the odds that happens are very, very low.
Exactly. I think like ped seeds in AD Key seems even rarer than normally for some reason, but that's just the feeling I have.
Yeah, I think logically the amount is the same, but it's just that there's so many useless small keys like an extra pod small, or like an eye small, that it just never matters. And the times that it does matter, like you're basically funneled into it anyway. Like worst case scenario is probably a CT small, but in this seed that's not going to matter. I don't think checking it is bad, but okay.
Okay, now we're talking options. Hookshot and a fifth pot small. All right.
Yeah, I think just continuing this route is very fair. I think before, if there was nothing here, I would have been a bit more inclined to just do Kingston Graveyard Ledge, Bumper Ledge before Skullwoods. And now I think it's fine to like delay those 3 checks and just go to Swamp first.
Is that so? Are you hoping that you will never have to check those, or will we do them later in that case?
Like if I find mids, I'll do King's Tomb. Like out of a saving quit.
I would, because I would be inclined to just do the mirror checks here, check Bump Ledge into Skull. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of checks now when we've got a hookshot. Wouldn't it be a nice option as well, just to mirror off the thieves here and go straight to pod and delay the whole north area?
That's pretty reasonable too. Just hope that you find like a Skull small and or like a Skull big, so you can actually like route Skull into the mirror checks. I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah, is that like if I personally would probably orphan everything up here, or like delay everything up there, or do everything now.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that you're in the Dark World already now, and coming back into the Dark World without the mids is a lot slower. Like you do spend a good 20 seconds going back into the Dark World.
Yeah. 20 seconds adds up, that's true, yeah. And Doc is checking Bumper Ledge.
Yeah, that's checking everything. That makes sense. I think if you do Bumper Ledge, then you do the other 2 as well.
Well, it's interesting to me that you say that you would skip these 3 checks in this situation. I'm not questioning it. I would say like, yeah, that's not something I would have thought of. I would just done it all like Doc do, or done nothing. He gets pod big though.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the only way that it really burns me is if the mids are behind here, because I would just be more inclined to come back here later with the mids. Because then it feels like a less punishing way to come back here later.
Oh, that is a time save, you're right, if you have mids, because you don't need to do another mirror transition. And then you just flute away afterwards instead of running back to Skullwoods.
Yeah. Okay, well now I think now the Zora sword hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still time save on Trinex.
Doc just wanted that logic to make sense, right? That's why he did it, right?
Yeah, it's just a shame because like there's definitely some rationale between like for doing the Zora checks. It's just it feels worse now that the other 2 are basically on the way.
Yeah. But in AD Keys, it's even harder to find, you know, skips or not really skips, but delays than in normal modes.
Agreed.
But you really need to do them anyway, because you're not going to win tournaments consistently or matches consistently unless you do them.
Yeah, like I think in AD Keys, like you can get away a bit more with being like super 4-0 because the chance that someone makes a bad skip is a bit bigger. But on average, like you are going to lose percentage points. And yeah, like I have been trying to just be more aggressive with my plays as well in general lately. So I kind of am trying to think when I see someone else, like what would a reasonable skip here be? Or what would I want to delay to come back here with potentially like a Skullwoods big key or a Skullwoods small key just to be more efficient, even if it means being more aggressive early on.
And yeah, Doctor, like efficient folk clear is Eriror is still doing efficient full clear, I think. Even with those 3. Like, if Area would have skipped those 3 checks, that doesn't detract from the efficient full clear mentality. It's just doing them later when maybe you have the mids and then they actually become more efficient.
Yeah.
I think is the thinking there. Because
Mm-hmm.
here you have to run back all the way from King's Tomb, and you also had another mirror transition. So it cost you time, even though it had progression. So yeah, it makes sense.
And a lot of people are really set on, if I skip this now, I'm never gonna come back. But also, like, skipping things and still incentivizing yourself to come back is very important in Keysanity modes, I feel.
Yeah, you need to have a plan for, I skip this now, but when am I coming back? What is the requirements? And for you, the requirement would have been Mitts then for Gravel Edge, King's Tomb.
Yes. Yeah.
And Bumble Edge. Oh, it makes sense. I'm learning things. Alright, spicy pet check. Okay, it's nothing.
Never gonna get 20 hearts.
Now, do you... Oh, we still have front of skull.
Pod. Oh, front of skull. Front of skull to pod here, I think is pretty reasonable.
Oh yeah, get this last 2 checks in pod.
Yeah, because like you're gonna have to save and quit. Then you end up on pyramid, and from there on, like just running to pod seems pretty good. Then you can mirror flute over to Death Mountain, I think. I guess the question here is like, what do you do, Death Mountain or Swamp? I think Swamp's probably the safer option, even if you potentially isolate the big key.
So Bear, if you tune in late, we had Glove on the island after killing Aga. There's never been a reason to go to the mountain yet. And also Skullwood's key in this dungeon. Let's go.
Always a small key in this dungeon. Okay, so now we're just running out? Okay.
Old man check is just a one-off check when you have the flute. We got the flute in pod.
We haven't used it yet.
Yeah, we haven't used it yet. So calm your horses. Doc is about to flute right here, and he's gonna flute somewhere.
Is this faster than soon quitting to pyramid and then going to 5? I guess we're just doing Swamp first. I think there is very little reason to not just do pod first. It's like, I really don't want to hammer jump again and maybe try to not hammer jump. But I think the chance that you get to skip big chest is so small.
I guess one tiny reason would be to route it in with green pendant hand in, but that's not happening. I don't think that's the thinking here. I think that's just, I don't like being in pod now. I've been there recently, if I were to guess.
Yeah. Would you have done pod first over Swamp here?
I don't know what I would have done, but I agree with you now that pod first is the obvious play, because you just do those 2 checks you haven't done that you need to do. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't like doing the cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay. You just get over it.
It probably feels pretty good that it's Pen and Swamp in this case. Because at least that's one dungeon less that you'll find progression in GT for.
Okay. That's a nice way of putting it. And we have already done Aga, so we're basically only Ice Rod left that can be in GT.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably just go straight left side here.
Hmm.
I think we still need enough items that
So
there's no chance I'm gonna skip it.
the option is to delay left side until you have the big key.
Yes.
Uh,
And I think something like that would make sense, like you were talking about with like Hold Stare, if you don't have the big key yet. But the fact is that we might never find Swamp Big.
Yeah.
It might just be in GT. It's like the reasoning to not do back coffees yet if you have big key but not the small key. And I would agree that in that sense it kind of makes sense not just skipping it for now.
mm.
But that's like Swampy Keysanity is kind of just an auto clear for me. Unless it's like really, really late.
How much time does it save to save compass just until after left side? Is it like 2 seconds, 10? I never timed it.
I've never timed it.
Because the route is you jump off the key pot to the north.
On the top, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you forget to do compass just on the way back. I think that's how
Yeah,
it
so
goes.
you just save time anyway.
Because that check is like 15, 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Should we just make a spreadsheet with timings for all the chests in the game? From like entrance of like, or from like reasonable points.
Well, I kind of have that data in my, you know, my my logs. If someone wants to assemble it.
But we can also do it with like different equipment and all that.
Yeah.
Because there's like, I think I read Kyung talking about it once. Like a lot of people like love having hookshot for like the what is it, the map chest, or is it the compass? Oh, nice miss. In Eastern, like hookshot over to the chest and then jump back off. But it actually doesn't save as much time as you might think. It's only like a second or something.
I always assumed it was like 3 seconds max.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it feels great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think the problem with such a timing spreadsheet is that there's so many versions that you want to time. Like you would need all of the timings to be done automatically.
Yeah.
Hitsu said he last located those myths. That sounds like a very Hitsu thing to do. But we all know myths are in swamp. That's how the myths work.
Yeah.
So now the seed is really opened up here.
Yes. So I guess after swamp we're gonna have another pause.
Yeah, I think that's a good time for a pause. The only dungeon we can clear after this is pod. So I would use, like you said, use the pod.
Yeah.
The mountain is looking really spicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just pure density wise, that's and there's just such a big chance that you are going to find your next lead, aka your next full clearable dungeon, like on Death Mountain.
Mm. 0 keys to TR. That feels that feels good somehow.
I think I would have liked like 1 or 2, just to at least get a little bit. Oh, that's a nice small key to get out of it as well.
Nice, but it's not in logic.
Mm.
Or is it? Do we have the compass? We don't know. Doesn't matter.
No, because we didn't have an item counter, right?
Ah, that's true. All right, so we'll check Bombus Tablet and then we'll do a pause.
Yeah. And we get a small key to GT. Wonderful.
Okay. Nice.
All right. So, Death Mountain is looming. Getting info for Meyer is probably my number one priority together with just finishing. I think this might also just be a good time for a map check. We also didn't consider, actually, that we never talked to the bond vendor to check what our 5-6 crystals were. Like, what are your thoughts on that in AD Keys?
I like doing it, if I remember it, because the other option is to do a bunch of awkward menus or map checks later that cost you the same time. Or, worst case, you don't realize you have 2 red crystals and then you last locate progression in Pyramid Ferry.
Yeah.
So I like checking it for sure, but it's a memory thing for sure.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I forgot in this case as well, because we were, like, considering the potential glove route into the glove. So it's easy to forget in that case as well. But yeah, I think I would really want to know what I need for Meyer.
In this case, do you jump into Meyer?
I would want to, but that's the awkward part, because I think there's a pretty significant chance that I just stumble into the big key on Death Mountain or whatever links from Death Mountain.
But if you had to pick between Meyer without big key or Ice without big key?
Probably Meyer. Like, I think getting to Meyer lobby from, like, the warp is, like, 30 seconds if you have to double dip. It's not that bad. Yeah, I like the only things that I just wouldn't do is like Smith chain. It's like my no-go.
Yeah, no, Smith chain is dead to me.
Exist. Like, I would do it after Feastdown if I get the big key, and that's about it.
Could potentially use check the mushroom and buy a potion or two.
It's not bad. Yeah, I wouldn't give like any consideration to fake powdering here either.
No, that wasn't even on my map.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the mountain is, how many items do we have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 plus 2 out of logic, 17 plus 6, 7. Yeah.
And then another possible free in front of Turtle Rock. If we can get in. It's a lot. 24
plus 3. It's good to write these numbers out sometimes. Alright, so is there any downside in checking going into desert? Like, this is the awkward thing for me. You can check 2 things inside of desert, but you don't have big key or small key.
Yeah, I might just delay. I think it depends on whether I can go into Meyer or not. Because if I can already go into Meyer, then it's easier for me to combine Meyer with Desert later on. So say that I check Meyer Medallion, I can get in, but I only do Meyer Shed plus
Checkerboard,
then Flute Away, do Death Mountain, and then I don't find anything, for example. Then at least I can go back, do like the 2 checks in Desert, then go into Meyer, and see from there.
Yeah, but this is you've already done pod.
Yes, yeah, that's assuming we fought. Like, that would be my... I'm just assuming that we're doing pod now. Like, it might not happen, but that's like the thing I would do first, no matter what.
Yeah, there's no risk involved here, basically.
Yeah.
Well, you might risk checking big chests for nothing, but that's every check. Yeah, no, I'm with you. So never do Smith chain in this situation. Probably not dipping ice. Well, probably definitely not dipping ice at this point.
No, we do already have the ice map and compass, I think.
But not the big key.
No, but not the big key.
It's too big of a risk when you have this many options.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's see what Doctor does.
Meyer, okay.
Monkey decision. Worth noting that Doctor had like 10 seconds to make the decision when we had as much time as we wanted.
Yeah. And that's the hard part about Rando, right? It's like these decisions that all involve very small margins.
Okay.
Well, that's very nice. That's super nice.
Now we just need 3 small keys to TR.
But yeah, if we can't get into Meyer, then I think I like checking the 2 checks in Desert. Because at least then the whole area is red anyway. Then I might as well just full clear the whatever I can here.
Oh, top route, I hate it. You're losing frames.
An actual second.
Oh, it's a whole second? Okay, everyone needs to learn the route in Checkerboard Cave. I think without the boots, I definitely don't go into Desert here.
We already checked this.
Yeah, but you never unmarked it.
I have a GIF somewhere of me doing it.
Checking it.
Where did I post it? I don't remember which Discord it was.
Memory of a goldfish.
Yeah.
Hey, Thief Down compass.
Wonderful.
Alright, and now I assume we're going to the mountain because you're never doing pod apparently. I'm sorry, I take that back. You're doing pod. Great!
Let's go. Oh, it's actually only half a second. Sorry. 44 frames. Wait, no. 34 frames, yeah. Okay, I'll post it in...
it rounds up to a second.
Yeah. Can I just link?
You should be proud you didn't put this off longer. I know the feeling, like I have it too. I was just in pod. I don't want to go back. It's boring. But then the rational part of my brain takes over and says, well, it's clearable. It says 3. Oh yeah, because we save scum 1. Okay.
Yeah. So the fastest thing would probably be to like hover into the rail, open the big chest, and then fall off to the rail. So you don't have to actually mirror. You can just drop down back.
Okay.
Okay, that's my useless factoid of the day.
Wait, so you can actually stay in the rail and open the chest? I didn't know that. That's sick.
Sure.
I'm gonna fast forward to the boss here.
Yeah, that seems very good.
Okay.
All right. So pod is done. We didn't go into desert yet.
So how do you route the mountain?
I think save old man, do check spec rock, cave, then Ether Tablet, Front of Hera, and then spiral into, like, go into the portal, like the east down portal.
You could
Do Paradox, Super Bunny, and then
you could hook shot over and do east side first.
yeah, but doing north side, but then Spiral Cave becomes very awkward. And consider that if you go to Turtle Rock, going the Hera route is only 5 seconds slower.
Okay.
So I think if you want to full clear Death Mountain, that going north is actually faster.
Okay, yeah. But do you... I probably wouldn't do Hera without the big key here, without having cleared the east side first.
But that's okay, because you can run back like from like Hookshot Cave, for example.
Yeah, either case, I would still try and delay Hera climb.
Yeah. I think doing just the front of Hera first is fine. Like to only do basement, map chest, and then go out. You don't need to commit to finishing it just yet.
So now those risk things where you're leaving a big chest behind when you have how many checks on the East Death Mountain? 1 million?
Yeah, about 60, 15? Yeah.
It's a fair bit, yeah. The book is coming up short. No, we got it Ganon's Tower small key, I guess. For the book.
We don't know what's in desert just yet.
Oh, we have Flute and Mirror for desert.
Yeah.
And he did check 2 checks in desert.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. It was a compass to thieves.
Oh, okay. I was looking for my very important checkerboard cave strat. Okay, so yeah, I probably wouldn't finish this just yet, but
it's just building risk for no reason, I think. Because you're coming back for Spike Cave potentially anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, 6 pot small.
It's pretty surprising that we don't have anything for Turtle Rock yet.
It's all in GT, baby. Hopefully, at this point.
Yeah, the amount of big keys are the lack of big keys is pretty concerning. This makes you think that everything's just in one place.
Like Paradox Cave?
Yeah.
Or big key to this dungeon in Ice Palace.
Oh yeah.
Would you do it like this? Drop down? Because I think I would have just gone into the portal on top of Turtle Rock.
I think with only 1 out of 3 medallions, I think this is completely fine. Because you end up in the Dark World anyway. Like, if you go into the portal down here, then Mirror, do Paradox, go back into the portal, do Super Bunny, do Hookshot. Okay, well, this is all... I mean, you can also just bomb jump and then go into the portal. I'm not sure. Like, this is something that I would need to time. But...
Yeah, I think for this one at least, if you do Spire first, you want to go down here and grab the portal and Mirror outside of Paradox so you can go up through Super Bunny. Like that's why you would do Spiral first in this way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Minor things.
But it's definitely worth timing.
Hey, Helmasaur is in Logic.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. We need Hera Big. And maybe a compass.
Oh,
That's a big key.
okay.
Okay. Thie's
Okay.
big.
Cool.
Mhm.
Now we get to the awkward part of, do we really want to commit to Smith Chain after Feast then? I think at this point, I probably don't mind it. Because after Death Mountain, we don't have that much left. Like aside from like Ice Palace without Big Key.
I guess there's a case for doing Ice Palace first for the possibility of either avoiding Smith Chain or having Powder or Shovel together with it. But then you risk Big Chest in Ice. And we need Quake. Okay, we have the only medallion we don't need.
Wonderful.
Great. But you didn't like that move, did you?
Okay.
Skull big. I still haven't checked Mushroom.
Yeah, I think doing Mushroom here is actually very reasonable. After you've done Spike Cave. Means that you can also get like the clean refill after the save and quit back onto Pyramid.
And we're looking for many items. 1,
2, 3, 5.
2, 3.
6.
7 items. 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah.
Still quite a bit. And 4 of those, 5 of those can be in GT at the very least.
Oh yeah. So there was nothing in Hookshot Cave?
No.
No, wait, we got Desert Small somewhere.
That was on Old Man.
Oh, okay, right. That is a bit awkward, I would say.
A little, yeah. But I'm also not.
I
too worried
paused
about
by
it.
accident.
Like fluting back there isn't that bad. You just need to commit to it. And it's like, do I really think that my opponent went to Death Mountain before my area? And I mean, if it's not unlikely if your opponent does skip left side swamp, but that's only if you're playing like Tato or Hitsu.
In AD Keys, I don't get it. Doc was playing Hitsu. Yes.
I know.
We still don't know the outcome yet, so I don't know who won this race, but don't spoil it. But don't spoil it. But do you actually check Skullwood's big chest first?
I don't think that's bad, no. Because otherwise you're like hard isolating it. Like because I think I would commit to just doing Smith Chain after this. And otherwise you have no reason to come back here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very fair. So we got we are going Smith Chain first.
Okay.
All right, so
I don't think there's ever a reason to do this first.
no, because you don't skip Thieves Town in any way. There's nothing you can find that makes it better. And
Oh, we want the refill because we're doing fake powder here.
everything about this is questionable. If you don't do magic paths, you save like half a minute.
Ice boots.
It's how I think about it. If you don't fake powder, you save half a minute.
But if something is on fake powder, then you could save.
Well,
the
then whatever. You know?
Yeah, I know. Like, I personally don't really have a lot against fake powdering, but it is definitely a time investment that might never actually be in logic.
I like it if you have something like powder on ped, powder on lumberjack. And
Yeah, that's reasonable.
because then you know that if it's there, then you're gonna save a bunch of time. You like it more because powder could be in GT. That's the very reason you shouldn't do it, because if it's in GT, it's probably not progression. But yeah, I mean, I still would have done this after Thieves Town.
Yeah.
We have 800 rupees to, well, one bottle. And we haven't checked.
We got another bottle, so we do have to.
Oh, I did. And we haven't checked mushroom yet, so you can just flew to the magic shop and just do a free refill there. So what would you say this, like, how much time would you gain by doing Thieves Town first? Is it just the flute back and the walk back to Thieves Town?
Probably, yeah.
Which is like 15 seconds?
Yeah, plus, like, because you also have 2 extra mirror transitions, right?
And they are surprisingly
Yeah.
costly. Maybe 25 seconds time loss here.
I don't know if it's that much, but it's probably like somewhere deep double digits, yeah. Probably like 15, 20. Apparently we also like got Pyramid Fairy access. So the question is like, would we do that over ice? Like, are we going to just commit to last locating ice?
At this point, yeah, I would say so. I feel like if you're gonna do Ice Palace without the big key, it's worth doing it earlier than when you only have 2 checks left. Because then,
that's reasonable.
Why did you wait? Notice my way.
Good job. Good job. Not walking out of the door before dashing.
I didn't notice it. I'm sorry.
I'm very proud. Did you listen?
So, if you had played this seed, right, you probably wouldn't have checked Catfish and Sora yet.
And I probably would have done it like I would have done like Pyramid Fairy, Mushroom, Catfish, Sora after this.
Yeah. You wouldn't have ended up skipping it, but it would have been a more efficient chain because you had Mushroom underway.
Yeah.
And there's that awkward Hera big key.
There's the shake of the head. Also, apparently it's not fast to do the big chest before rescuing the maiden in situations like this, because you need to lift the rock again.
It saves you from the conveyor room with the berries. I think that's why people like doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not faster. It's faster for Doctor, yeah.
That's right. I'm not one to judge.
Yeah, it's so interesting seeing how tiny decisions in delaying certain checks makes them against like initial thinking actually more efficient later.
Yeah.
Even in AD keys, and we have seen this several times already with Catfish and Sora and Smith Chain, Java Ledge situation.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see, what did we see on blind? Was that something?
I think it was just not accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. Is this even randomized?
Good thing we did that fake. Okay, did Fake Powder save us time here?
I don't think so.
Because ideally we would have checked Mushroom before going to Thieves to begin with, I think.
Yeah.
So we would have had that with the Smith Chain.
Okay, so now we do Pyramid Fairy, then probably right side desert. I think they, yeah. I mean, that's.
Oh, that's right. We do have those two checks. Do you think Doc will do those before Ice?
I don't know. Like, would you go back to Hera before Ice? I think at this point, you might just commit to not wanting to do that.
Yeah, Hera is orphan now. Yeah, why right side desert instead of Ice? It doesn't really get faster, does it?
Like, it gets faster if you find Desert Big.
Mm.
Like, first, I would probably do a map check now. I think I would want to know what the last pendant is. And, like, you can get the info now. Because, like, if Desert Big could be in GT, then I would probably be more inclined to just check it right now. Okay, well, now I do Ice first.
Now we do Ice first.
Yeah, now it is your best option. That's right.
Okay. Well, it's starting to feel like it's going to be straightforward from here, because what else do we have to do? There's a potential TR dip coming up once we find Quake.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so, Mike? Okay.
I don't know. It's looking pretty fast. Like, what do we even...
Yeah, we have been warned. Is this gonna be...
Sure, we can find, like, a weird swamp big, and then, and we find a Hera small, and, like, we get some weird sequence. But, like, for the most part, I think the big decision points are... Also, even with zero smalls, don't hit the switch! In Keysanity modes, in normal Keysanity modes, you can clear out Ice with zero smalls and not hitting the switch. If you Icebreaker.
Yeah. This is contingent, though, on you having enough magic to kill Cold Stare, right?
Is that the case? Yeah, I guess it's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, so you either you need to be aware of your magic usage and pick up a few extra pots, or have a potion, or have half magic, or have bombos. But I'm with you. Like I think it's just the easiest way to route is hit the switch because it never fails.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then there's cases where not hitting the switch is more efficient, and this is one of them. But it's just so hard to muscle memory which situation is what. Because I always try to think of it like when I enter Ice Path, okay, is this a situation where I hit the switch? Do I have magic? Do I have Cane? Well, obviously you need Cane to consider it.
Yeah.
But do I have magic? Do I have keys? A big key?
Because now you kind of get in the awkward situation of you needing to bomb jump and like going back, and just dealing with this room is a pain.
Yeah, no one likes that room. And is it faster to... I don't think it's faster to dash horizontally.
No, it's not worth it to dash at all in that room.
Not at all, you say? Okay.
Yep, it's just walks.
Not even vertically?
Nope.
Ah.
Because of all the diagonal movements you need to do anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna stop dashing vertically immediately.
The only time that's actually a rule is on Moldworm.
What? On Moldorm?
Yeah, because you get frame ruled more easily on Moldorm.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we found the bombos, so I guess we just go into Mire.
Mm.
Do you do right side desert before Mire? Probably in this case.
In this case, you could just mirror at the main entrance and loop in.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. With Mire big keys there, you gain time. Otherwise, yeah. Like worst case scenario, like the alternative is to do it after you finish Mire anyway, because you're not skipping it.
No. And then you only really lose like a mirror transition.
Exactly.
Or like not really, but like re-entering Mire, I guess. Like you have to do Mire 1 and 2 again. Which could be awkward, but...
I guess maybe if Mire is the last crystal, you could consider yourself in an aggressive GT mode and skip right side desert.
Oh, that's fair.
But do you?
No. I mean, I wouldn't, but...
No, some people would. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, P-Train destroyed me in that way. Very move. Actually. And okay, the doc didn't think about mirroring into main.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not
to forget
the
it.
easiest thing to, yeah. It's not the easiest thing to think about.
It's still wrong.
Okay, so the only awkward check that's left is, well, the only check that's left after this is Harabig. So that's great.
Use a map and compass in desert.
Okay.
Kek key. Well, now it turned out to be better to go from west.
Okay, so we need 2 Turtle Rock smalls, a Turtle Rock big, and a Mire big. Wonderful.
Alright, so we still don't know which dungeon is the crystal. If desert is the crystal, do you GT mode or do you still leave Mire? What's the risk there? Ooh, indeed.
That's difficult. I think I would admire, because I don't think there's a chance that all 4 keys are in GT. And Quake.
Yeah, but exactly. It's It's harder in not fad keys because there's a world where you can go more GT. That's very attractive.
Yeah.
Or like half go mode it because the answer was in Staffel's room.
Mm-hmm. That's really difficult though.
Because now we're down. We need 4 items for go. No,
Let's
5.
put- Yeah,
That's still a lot.
that's a lot.
But surely Meyer Big is just used in GT, so you can go clear Meyer in one dip. That's the dream.
That's a dream, but is it really worth it risking that? Like, okay, well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. But
Aside
no,
from the fact that like it does matter, thinking about it.
I don't think you do. I think you just go into Meyer here anyway. Because Meyer Big could just be in Meyer. There's probably going to be a TR small. So yeah.
I think that's like there's such a big chance that there is like a TR small in Meyer and then Meyer big in TR as well. Like stuff like that could have happened too.
You did this to reset Spooky. It's not necessary when Desert is a pendant. Unless you use Lamp for the torches, but I don't think you did. Because Spooky is preserved unless you have a crystal cutscene.
Yeah.
It's also destroyed by Boomerang and Lamp.
And Kane.
And Kane.
But
yeah.
And Powder.
And Powder.
Anything else?
Probably, but I don't know. The fairy revival? Curse it.
Good question.
So, we have 3 keys to this, so we're gonna enjoy probably a map and compass here.
I would probably still just immediately do this.
Yeah, same.
Ice Rod doesn't ruin it.
No, because Ice Rod, sometimes you can use Ice Rod if you don't have boots to preserve Spooky.
Yeah.
Just fire 2 shots to the right and lay down your block. You can even use Fire Rod to preserve your Spooky, but that's harder.
Yes.
Right, we're not gonna watch the cutscene, we're gonna just... There we go.
Wonderful. Okay, saved. Huge time save. Except time neutral.
Time neutral, alright. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
I usually think Silver's is 40 seconds. Maybe that's too much. But
That is about, I think. Like optimally it saves like 25 in Ganon alone. But it also makes Gauntlet a lot easier, like Lammo 2.
Yeah. Could have just used the key there for the key door.
Yeah.
I think Doc got scared and just decided to do this.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like ending here is maybe a little bit better, but either way is fine. Yeah, that's reasonable.
So we got a shovel.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it.
You dig it? We don't need this pot key for sure. That's just time waste. Hey, it's a swamp pig.
Alright, swamp or Hera? Probably swamp. I would probably go for swamp.
I would go for shovel.
Okay, yes, sure. Deal.
And then because like in my brain swamp is nearer to shovel than Hera, I would go to swamp, but probably it's the same regardless.
Like in this case where I already made the decision to finish Hera, I would probably just be like, okay, Hera Big Chest is going to be my last location. Like if I'm going to have a last location that is somewhat reasonable, it's going to be Hera.
Mm.
So maybe like gain a edge somewhere.
For Hitsu, who has already double dipped Swamp by now, this would be a triple dip.
Like in a way, it's like it does go through my head. Like what possible pitfalls could my opponent have had, and how would that influence their routing?
Yeah.
But it's hard because it's so easy to just think that your opponent like god routes everything.
I think if you practice thinking about alternative routes, you stop thinking that way. That's what happened to me, at least. Like I tried to think, what would happen in the seed if I went to Kak from the south or did Eastern first, and like if you try to follow these thoughts out, usually you end up, well, there's another bottleneck. They'd have to go Catfish, and that's awkward from their perspective. Or so it's not always the god route, even if they got one item better than you or faster than you. So I think if you just practice it.
I mean, yeah, I do that. Definitely try to do that.
I'm thinking more Doc and others.
And sometimes it's still easy to fall into the trap of, oh well, that route was obvious. Just do X instead of Y.
Why didn't I go into Skullwoods for my hammer? Oh.
Why didn't I believe in Big Duncan?
Exactly.
Alright.
And Quakers, let's go.
Okay, so now the awkward part is, I would probably now still do Hera before Total Run.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's on the way almost. And quick. And you only have one TR small.
Yeah. Oh no! Yeah.
Some people get so annoyed at that they use Flute again, even though it's slower.
Yeah.
I mean, so far throughout the seed, Doc has done like basically what we wanted him to do in most cases. There's been a few places where routing efficiency would have saved him at this point maybe minutes, 2 minutes.
But there's like no decision that I like vehemently disagree with, aside from like not immediately finishing up pod when possible.
Yeah, the early Catfish.
Yeah, like it's still somewhat defensible. Like I mean, like it.
Yeah, it's not a crazy play, but it's one of these. We both instantly went, well, why are we going here now?
Yeah.
It is small. Okay.
Okay. Well.
So my big is just in the front of TR.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's literally nothing else. The map is great. Oh man, these dead rocks today. Yeah. Okay. So if you enter the screen, you want to just dash to the right, like past the peg, and then walk down. And it basically eliminates all bad RNG.
So, if I understand you correctly, you just dash.
Like from the start of the screen, like even like.
Okay.
Just
dash.
Just slow dash here, yeah, and then walk down, and then like hammer dash to the right, or like dash to the right, yeah. Like if you're like post aga in this screen, then that's the way you want to do it.
That's cool. That's cool. Clear. Continue. Let's just jump to the good part.
Yep. Okay, what do we find? Surely it's not going to be another TR small.
Surely not. There we go. Do you go to chain chomps here?
Probably. I think the risk is very low.
If you find a small key.
Then again, you're right. Like, no, actually. Okay.
Because if you find a small key, the only thing in logic is Mimic Cave.
Yeah, like I definitely wouldn't go to Mimic Cave, but knowing that there is a small key here makes it easier to decide when to stop looking in GT.
Yeah, absolutely. I probably would have checked chain chomp too. I think.
Okay.
No, don't continue,
No!
Doc. No, don't do it.
Okay, yeah.
It's a
this
trap.
This is where it stops.
It's a trap. You may have forgotten. Oh, that you don't have. You don't have another small key and the TR's big.
Why with you just need big to get to Laser Bridge. Well, it's not large big, but you.
Oh yeah, fair. Fair. Alright, so at least you know what you did wrong here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have gone to only Mimic Cave, I assume.
I think 2020 Airy would have gone to Mimic Cave here, but at this point, you just can't afford to do that anymore. You can't just like try to eliminate every single case to get burned.
What if it's there? What if what's there?
What if TR Peak is there?
Well, then you last located with everyone else. It's fine. You're gonna have to full clear GT anyway, but that TR small.
And it's just gonna be in the climb, right?
Oh no, it's never in the climb. Maybe we can save the portal though.
Okay, well, he realized before he tried to open big chest or the door, so that's good.
So we didn't do a save scum of the lava chests. I like it. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. How long did that take though, going from Chain Chomp to Mimic Cave? That was a fair bit.
Time that, right?
Yeah. Actually, let's just do that now.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
So we find it there at
57. Yeah.
58.
Yeah. Minute and a half.
And then we float away. Well, sort of there, I guess.
Minute 40, 45. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That is a lot of time. A minute 45, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a substantial amount.
That is almost a bot, like a helmet death.
How many checks in GT can you do with that time?
That's a lot of checks. You want to fall down back in the big chest room.
Oh, is that faster?
Yeah.
Okay. And then going to the right is optimally a second faster than to the left. But if you don't play optimally, going left is easier.
Yes. Imagine not having to deal with the wizard. Yeah.
Just hammer dash through the wizard.
Assert dominance.
Alright, let's speedy boy through to the fight.
Wait, what happened with Spooky?
Yeah, what happened to Spooky? Hold on.
Don't worry about it. That should have worked.
That looked right.
Oh, I just missed.
So you had Spooky, but
Oh.
you missed the fire rod shots?
You can retry though. Huh. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, well.
So here, your strat here seemed a bit, you know, YOLO, I think. Dashing in a random amount. That's not how I do it. Like the way I do it, Eric probably has an even more consistent strat, is I walk, and then I do a diagonal up here, and then I fire rod shot here from about this spot.
Yeah, my strat involves a dash as well, so it's maybe a little riskier, but
Alright, not
like
that.
what my like the walk strat from Mike is very good.
Yeah, so it's you walk diagonally and you shoot from here-ish. You shouldn't dash without thinking, Doc. Like... And like, remind me how much time Spooky saves. Is it 20 seconds?
If you fill it, it loses you 20 seconds, yeah. Like if you only do normal strats, then it saves like 11, 12. But yeah, if you like need to get to bombs and then wait instead of like throwing a bomb immediately, then you lose extra time. It's like 20.
Yeah. It's crazy how little things like that just... I used to think that 20 seconds is nothing. But now, now 20 seconds is everything.
Yeah. It's quite silly. See, getting hit there didn't matter. It's stupid. Like, you would think, oh man, I got hit there. That's so stupid. But it doesn't lose you any time because you need to wait for Vitreous phase 2 anyway.
Some stupid Spooky just cost you 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly, Doc. Like, we care more about this stuff now than in the beginning. Like, it's an entirely different mindset when it comes to looking at routing.
Yeah.
And we found nothing in Meyer.
Nope. So, GT it is.
Alright, let's go there. And are we all in agreement that Compass first in Keysanity is the only route? Do you do Tylum on the way?
Nah, not in this case. I'm only looking for... No, yes, actually. Still looking for 2 keys. So I think 2 out of 22 or 2 out of 23 makes a lot more sense than...
Yeah, I think if you're looking for 2 items... Okay, now, what about now?
Well, now I would probably skip it. I would still do it before climbing in this case.
Yeah. Because there's nothing left in the world, right? Yeah. It could be on Laser Bridge. No, I'm dumb. It can't be on Laser Bridge.
It can be a lava chest.
It can be a lava chest. That's funny.
Is it?
It's funny.
Not when you're racing.
Oh, a nice potion drink. That was... I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't need a small key here. On the pot. Oh, Hera basement.
Well, I'm also doing that before.
Alright, so here, the rule you need here is if your key count for GT is this number plus the Stalfos pot key, if that number is 3 or more, you don't need to go through the portal. And we're at 3 plus 1, so you don't need a spot key. So basically, if you have 3 keys, or if you have 2 keys and haven't picked up the pod key, you don't need that extra key.
But big small key number goes blue.
Just leave into Hera basement. I mean, as a meme, as a Hail Mary, I don't know. Do you do Hera basement before the climb?
Probably.
You do it, but I would be.
But I would hate every second of it.
Mm.
Because it's a 1 versus 4, and I need to do the 4 anyway. And I guess it's not that bad, because...
It's not
like,
1 versus 4 either.
Getting back to Hera isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Especially because you need to go back to Turtle Rock anyway.
I don't think it's... Oh, wait, no, I keep forgetting. What are we looking for? But yeah, you're like, if it is in Hera basement, like, we still have to climb the mountain to do TR afterwards, so...
Yeah.
You're gonna go back up there anyway. What other fun things can we find? Not really anything. We done all fetch quests.
The memes are gone. The only meme is Hera basement or Tall Room.
And lava chest.
Oh yeah, that would be the biggest meme actually.
It's over 9,000!
It's a tiny raid.
Oh yes.
Oh heck yeah. Hello Shin. Welcome to
yes.
the final steps in the VOD review of Dr. Abrams' AD Keysanity. Apparently TR big key in lava chest. I don't know. I'm just assuming at this point.
Sounds like something Hitsu would check, to be honest.
I mean, Doc did have the opportunity to save scum and check it.
Yeah.
But it would be a bad choice. He shouldn't have been there to begin with. You kind of want to hear that raid alert again. If I'm doing Talum.
Yeah.
It's over 9,000!
Oh, Jesus. Okay, Ed, thanks for the raid. I don't know, like you said, you had to go up here anyway. Save both tile rooms for later.
The problem is that getting back to GT is a lot worse than getting back to Hera.
True, true. This is the sort of stuff where your routing discussion just breaks down into some emotional preference. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it just becomes how much risk are you willing to?
Okay, let's put it like this: what's the most aggressive play?
I think the most aggressive play is to skip both climb.
Just go for the climb immediately.
Yeah. Or maybe the most actual aggressive play is to leave, go to lava chest, then find big key there, complete Turtle Rock, then do GT.
That is pretty aggressive. I feel violated.
Yeah. You were saying most aggressive, not most reasonably aggressive.
No. But I like that question because it's usually end up at a reasonable play. Yeah. And there it is. Let's go.
GG.
Okay.
Well, now you do Turtle Rock first, right? Also, you just go back into that portal first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, not if you already screen transitioned, but...
Yeah. Things like that adds up time as well, quite significantly. But that just comes with more experience.
Yeah. It's very easy to just second guess yourself. Sometimes when you make a play, you just need to commit to it. Like even if it is slower, because like double backing usually just costs you more time.
Mm. Okay.
That's how I feel about it anyway. Like it's like when I play an entrance seed and I kind of forget what to do. I just need to do something and not stand still and think about it for 15 seconds.
It's so bad. But like the seed is solved now, so we're just going through the motions.
Yeah. Yeah, like we can kind of go through like some post race thoughts, I guess. While it's finishing.
All right, see you, Dr. Aworm. You're welcome. I'm happy we could do this for you. It's been fun.
Very, very like there are a couple of really big decision points that were interesting. Really enjoyed it. Like in a way, it kind of played out like a typical AD key seed, but there were also some just very non-typical things in there, right? Like the early Aga.
Early Aga was interesting, and then we got some major, points that we could diverge. Swamp Pod, Western Dark World, Dark Death Mountain, or just Death Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. So turns out that pod was single dippable. Like if you do go to Vu and Scodes first, get the pod big key out of Graveyard Ledge. I'm not sure like how reasonable that is.
It doesn't seem reasonable, but yes. I think there's a lot more routes in AD Keys than meets the eye at first, because you have to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe yes, maybe there was a route in there.
Like both of us were very like pro pod first, but yeah. Like you do miss out on like immediately activating flutes, which I guess doesn't matter that much.
You want the cross keys reviewed? Yeah, I think a lot of people will want cross keys reviewed.
Yeah, probably have to get Telefar on it then. There's probably a bit more experience with that.
Hello, Cody. This is Mike and Eri. And the face is Dr. Aworm.
Yeah, Doc is the face of the program.
Yeah, but summarize the big time saves potentially is avoiding Catfish and Sora early on to do it later with Mushroom. Is one big point. And what was the other big point? Not going to Mimic Cave, but that was just a mental mishap with the tier big key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that cost 2 minutes almost.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about like delaying Bumper Cave Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb until potential mids, which I think was doable in this one. Yeah.
It was, yeah. Mids were in Swamp, which you could do after Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Was it Thieves Town Hookshot was in? The front of Thieves Town? Yeah. Yeah. And Mids is one of those items here that creates a lot of, oh shit, I didn't think about having Mids at this seed. What do I do now?
Yeah.
And I don't think anything ended up being in the big chest in ice.
No.
But there was nothing even in ice that was worth grabbing either. No, we got... Oh, no, wait. We got Bombas in ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the final score? Let me look at the final score here. Who won this race? Tournament room. This was a while ago. Or is this done yet? Has this not been reported?
I have no idea. I'm not in the AD Keysanity Discord.
Maybe it's on the wonderful website start.gg.
Are you using that? Okay, cool.
I am not using that, but they are.
Oh, Dr. Earworm said lost to Hitsu by 2 minutes in live race talk. So it's probably mostly the Mimic they've done, and then a couple of small things.
Oh, this is week 2. That's why I couldn't find it. This was a while ago. You lost by 2 minutes, and Hitsu last located mids.
Yeah.
But last location in mids here, what would you have done? You would have finished off Lightwell Mountain, basically, and Pod.
Yeah.
So it would cost you like a double dip of Swamp, which isn't terrible.
No, it's also like 3 minutes, I think. Maybe no, it's probably less actually.
What did Hitsu skip?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, we have found things where we dropped last time, like definitely, but Hitsu definitely skipped some things, I think, to make up for that mid's last location, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe go mode Meyer once you're in GT mode. You say heck Meyer.
Go straight to GT instead of also entering Total Rock first.
Yeah. This is exactly what P-Train did to me this week. He was in GT mode, used go mode and Meyer. I think we were looking for 2 items. I forgot.
Oh wow.
And he just nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty aggressive. It's definitely like more aggressive than I would like to play.
But like, it also comes down to how many maps and compasses are you missing, right?
Yeah.
Because you need all of your crystal maps and compasses in Logic before GT. Are you just gonna full clear pre-GT to find all of those? Because it's
yeah. Yeah, those are good points. Like those are just things that I don't even consider immediately, but it just makes a lot of sense.
I still don't know when you should rush GT, but it seems to pay off more often than it should. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it also depends like who I'm racing. Like if I know I'm racing Hitsu, I know I can just be more thorough because I'll just be able to get like 5 minutes worth of checks on him. But yeah, not against other people, I won't have that luxury. So like against P-Train, I might just have to play more aggressively because I know he plays more aggressively. And also has the execution to like back him up on it.
Yeah. GG stock.
Yeah, GG's. Still stock too though, like with GT double dip.
Yeah,
GG double dip.
Yep, no major points of oh, why did you do this crazy play?
Yeah.
It's the solid route. I think that made sense most of the time.
Yeah, like the only thing where you would really say, okay, like he, like maybe a bit overwhelmed with like the glove on Lake Hylia. I think that was maybe like a small point that we didn't touch on.
That is right.
Weekend.
We could have done hype into just collecting the glove on the island, but instead Doctor went west, did Stumpy empty game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That probably would have been a much more efficient to just grab the glove and do that later.
Yeah. And yeah, the Mimicate thing was also, yeah, that was probably just the mind derp. But other than that, yeah, I think, like for the most part, there was thought put into the routes, like while playing, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I think we touched upon like the two big points, like post glove, post mids.
Yeah, and like it's just the concept of you still full clearing efficiently, but later, and maybe you do it more efficiently later, and that's sometimes worth putting off checks.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it because you can do it now. I don't like doing everything I can see if I can skip it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's the potential with like Front of Desert now as well? Even if we couldn't enter Mire immediately, so there was more incentive to just check those two checks. But like waiting until the small key was like available, for example, was still an option. Just like trying to save out on like extra mirror checks, extra screen transitions.
Yeah, this is good.
But it's like trying to save time up front to maybe not have to like pay it back with interest later. That's yeah, especially Keysanity modes, just really made or broken by those decisions. It's really hard.
Yeah. So I think we have another seed coming up. I'm gonna do that one with Telethar of 80 keys of a PH seed, and then I need people to send me VODs basically to do more of these, to do the 999 coming ones.
All right, so, I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna send us over to Humbug, who's doing an NMG. And thanks, Doc, for allowing me to criticize his every move. Lots of fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for being willing to be reviewed. Thanks so much for having me on, Mike. And, hope we get to do it again sometime.
Oh yeah, I think this is also a success. So let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie's gonna do some cross keys. Submit a VOD. Sounds like a good idea. Wait, no, I'm not raiding doctorearworm. Hold on. Hold on. All right, that's it. But yeah, see you in chat, Eri. Have a nice evening.
See you.
And see you, chat. See you in Humbug's stream.